Who knows? But it was a wild time. It's the worst week I've ever experienced in LA.
Yeah, truly. I
didn't think we'd be able to record.
I thought, well, I can't believe we're actually able to do this.
Well, thank you for coming over here.
Of course.
Of course. They finally kind of contained it, but we still
It's
are.
right there.
Yeah,
It's right over there.
the
Right
fire's
there.
literally a mile and a half that way, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Ben's
It's,
been on like evac
mandatory
warning.
evacuation, pretty much a couple streets over that way, and then that way.
And then
Yeah.
they say, the wind is going to pick up again.
The DEI wind?
That DEI wind. You never know which way it goes. It's just crisscrossing.
You know what's funny? As I was like,
It's shaking and baking.
Just like the dims.
Just like the wind is like Allen Iverson.
I was like, can everybody shut up about the DEI firefighters? And then, like, I turned on the news, and, like, there's a plane landing from Mexico, and, like, a mariachi band gets on. And they're like, finally, the firefighters are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
It
like,
is-
queer.
You find
like,
out like the only
mariachi.
people helping are like prisoners and shit. You like have no clue what's happening.
No, literally people who are like, well, I have 25 years left in prison, so I hope this fire kills me.
They're literally putting out a fire while Hassan Piker interviews them on his live stream.
Yeah, in his
I know.
Carhartt jacket.
But isn't that just because like we suck ass and like
Who sucks ass?
Just Newsom and whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Bass.
And Bass.
Karen Ass.
Mrs. Bass.
Miss Bass.
Miss Bass, if you nasty.
Do not besmirch Miss Bass's
Yeah.
name.
What if she's like, why didn't you hire more firefighters? She goes, that is not my job.
I mean, yeah, this is
Real Karen.
a real Karen. Yeah.
Miss Bass. See, so here's the thing for anybody that's just like is learning about like LA politics. Like, first of all, who could give a shit, right? Yeah. But like, no one likes them, and no one's ever.
No one
liked
ever
them.
has.
No one's ever liked them, and now outrage is like seen as a virtue, kind of, because like. Otherwise, you would have, if you actually really cared, you would just like pitch in and like help the community and like do stuff.
People are like,
you
I'm-
wouldn't just be shaking your fist on
And
Twitter.
people are like, I'm pitching in by creating strife amongst the community.
I'm going to AI websites and I'm making the firemen
Yeah.
look like Bruce Valanche.
They go, yeah.
That's how I'm fighting
I know.
for the good people
Dude,
that are burning alive
literally,
right now.
Literally, people are like cutting their life 20 years short to save Hollywood, and you're like, and people are tweeting like, look at these faggot fat firefighters.
Yep.
And all the firemen are like Punisher guys.
They look great.
Yes.
They look awesome.
They're like John Bernthal.
the
They're
ones
amazing.
that are around. Yeah.
But you also see the maneuvers the helicopters are doing. It's
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Fucking, the water drops was like a fucking and one mixtape. I sat there all night last night just watching water get dropped and the red shit.
Yeah, I always go when they drop water. I go, you should drop red.
I go, drop more red.
Red
The red
is- red's
seems
better.
like their scientists worked on it.
Mix
I
it
don't,
up.
did scientists work on water?
Yeah.
Drop the science
There's
stuff.
a fireman going like, we need more red. Send us red. I don't know what it's called. It's red. Send it.
There's
to us.
there's Crip firefighters that are like dropping blue. They're like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, planes flying into each other.
Hey, if you thought America hated water, just now, I mean, watching the water does nothing. People are like, see, I told you got to put Crystal Light in the tankers. You got to drop some Propel on these bitches.
All week you would see they would like be like, why can't they drop like ocean water? And then people would be like, you fucking idiots. You obviously don't know how corrosive ocean water is. And then a couple days in, the Canadians are dropping ocean water. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been picking it up and dropping sharks on people's families and shit.
Dropping great whites.
I kept thinking
people's-
that. I'm like, what if they are just dropping like vicious sharks?
the retarded son actually got ate by the shark they dropped.
Like they're dropping poisonous jellyfish on like Ecuadorian families.
Yeah, you're like, finally, our house is saved, and you get electrocuted to death.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. It's unbelievable, and this is LA's Katrina, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically, yeah,
It's White Katrina.
yeah. 13,000 buildings burned to the ground. 24 people died. We don't really give a shit about
The
that.
only- yeah,
but
I
the
mean, it's-
buildings.
Why
The
were I
buildings-
looked up pictures of all the people that died. They're all black. What is that about?
Well, their smoke detectors weren't working. You can't ask me that.
damn it.
You can't ask me and not have me say that.
That was a good one.
Very good.
Yeah, but no, it is a tragedy that they lost their lives.
Yeah.
It's actually deeply sad.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
Yeah, how do I'm assuming people just stay. They're like, I'm going to save my house, and then they just get
I
caught
think
in
it's
the
just
plays,
that
right?
they just don't take it seriously at the beginning or whatever.
Yeah, which I respect.
or have nowhere to go. I mean, I don't know.
I get it.
They have places to go. They get in your car and leave. But whatever.
Yeah, they're giving you places to go.
yeah.
Airbnb's giving like 30,000.
They pulled
free
out a
places.
rack of ribs. They were like, this will be great for the still smoking.
They're like, I'll turn my house into a smoker.
Speaking of a big rack of ribs, by the way, I think my favorite grifter throughout this whole thing has been that big hog.
Which hog?
In Silver Lake. There's this big fat hog of a lady who she's taking.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
ripping pages out of like weird.
That pretended that
horoscope books.
That book.
And she's clearly taking a lighter and burning the edges.
Around, yeah. Yeah.
And
She
it's
got community noted hard, like 9 million
Oh,
impressions. That this is not from the Altadena fire. Clearly,
the
this was
community
altered
note should say, "May you burn in hell." for exploiting
it was such
this.
it was such a funny photo because she tweeted she fake burned a page that said like Chapter 7 recovery,
and
or
she took a photo of it with her big
with her
fat
big hoof paw. You look at that.
hoof.
You look at that hand, and you go, Jewish people couldn't eat her if they needed to. It looks like a hoof with sharp little acrylic nails on the tip of it.
Yeah.
It looked insane.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well,
ass.
all the grifters come out, you know. Yeah. Whitney Cummings used the whole fucking fire as an ad for her podcast.
Yeah.
Just this unbelievable.
Yeah, when he comes, he's like,
behavior.
the fire's 9 miles from my house and my podcast studio. No. And then she pressed stop record and she goes, okay, I think that's good. Can you wipe these fake tears out of my eyes?
She has an assistant
Because I'm a
dropping
sociopath.
fucking water on her face. She's using up all the water with her fake tears.
Yeah, she drained the reservoir in Hollywood. They couldn't access.
But what a time! Just
What a time!
And then the wind's gonna pick back up. That fucking.
Well, so that's the thing. We might be halfway through this because
We
there's
don't even
still
know.
there's so much burning right here, and then I'm next to this canyon over here.
Mm-hmm.
So this could, in 24 hours, this house could be gone.
Yeah, we have no idea.
And at that point, I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah, people kept telling me like to maybe think about getting out of there. I'm like, God, if it gets to like the city, I'm like, we're done.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
blow my head off.
No, yeah.
Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're moving to
Are
Austin.
you kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? If it gets to like,
If it gets
like,
to Echo Park.
Echo Park, well, we're done. End of LA.
There's
End
no more
of
LA
life.
left. Yeah.
Like what?
Are you guys thinking about buying a gun now?
Oh yeah.
Because so like over here, like people were looting. And the National Guard came in and there were cops everywhere because like a really fucked up car rolled up and asked my neighbors here if they were evacuating or not. And then they just kept driving, like clearly
They were-
trying to find out who was leaving
just a
and who
bunch
was
of
staying.
like skits of.
Because tons of people in my neighborhood left. Because streets over
So that
is
people know
mandatory
that and they-
evacuations.
Yeah,
They-
they come up.
they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
So they were, the National Guard came out. They started arresting people and whatnot. I'm like, all I have is I have a knife.
Wow.
Jeez, that's the loudest chair in
Wow,
the
what
world.
a chair.
That
I
chair
really
could
do
have
need to
started
lose
the
weight.
fires.
Oh my god.
All I have is this knife that
That we made in Texas.
I made it out of a horseshoe.
Yeah.
This is like so I got like this.
You could do that,
I like to imagine there's a guy watching Inglewood. He's like, I'm going to steal that knife.
but that won't. You can't.
I gotta watch videos how to even use it.
You gotta get a gun. You gotta get a shotgun.
Do you think you could throw this? Like I could throw that at a guy.
Yeah, you could have a really embarrassing final moment where you think
Yeah,
you're like
where it
really
hits him,
good.
where it hits him sideways,
you
and he
think you're
goes.
good at throwing a knife and then die.
Yeah, and it hits him sideways, and then he picks it up and stabs you in the eye.
Yeah.
I throw it like a boomerang. It comes back and slices
Yeah.
my throat.
You
up.
could hand your killer his weapon.
There you go, sir.
Yeah, you'd be like Deliverance, where you try to throw it and it goes right into your leg, and you just fall down.
I messaged my friends Aaron and Philip. They're writers and they know a lot about guns.
Yeah.
And they told me I need to get I think it was a Glock 17 because that's the biggest Glock.
Sure.
Because my hands are so big because I'm 6'4". I
Get a
have really
Glock.
big hands and a big
Get a
penis.
shotgun too, because you can go through rooms. I think
Yeah.
better with that.
I
Shotgun's
love
good.
going through rooms.
You gotta clear rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna be clearing lots
You're gonna
of
be
rooms.
clearing your rooms.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you're going to
you
be
know,
doing that just every night to shut down.
because the more I'm looking into this, this will keep happening, and we're gonna. they're gonna pretend it was a natural fire, but you know, it really was like a schizophrenic man with a flamethrower.
And that's why
that was paid by the government.
That's why I need a Glock 17. That's the pistol I need to get. I thought I should get a 1911. You know, the one from like No Country for Old Men, and
I'm gonna get
that pistol.
I'm gonna get a cannon.
Yeah, you should get a 500 S&W.
I'm gonna get a Gatling gun.
That would be pretty cool.
That you hand
like a
Craig.
stagecoach Gatling gun.
I would love that.
You
for
come
you.
flip it, get out of my yard.